Hello and welcome to PGTV News. Here are our top stories. Learn more about a City of Lakeland water quality improvement project. Find out what city officials have to say.
A leadership group from the University of Florida visits Polk County. Find out the purpose of their trip.
Hello and welcome to PGTV News. I'm Stephen Barnes.
And I am Tina Mann. The City of Lakeland held a public meeting at the R.W. Blake Academy for an approved water quality improvement project. The stormwater treatment system is located along the north side of Sykes Boulevard between Hartsell Avenue and Lime Street. The improvements include the construction of 2 stormwater treatment ponds, a nutrient separating baffle box, and additional stormwater infrastructure. City staff and representatives from the project team were on hand to discuss the project. We spoke with Lori Smith, manager of Lakes and Stormwater for the City of Lakeland.
The project has been designed as a water quality treatment project for Lake Hunter, which is one of our city lakes that's been impaired by excessive levels of nutrients, so it has too much nitrogen and phosphorus in it. Basically what that does is it fuels algae blooms and causes the lake to be kind of green colored. So what we want to do is try and reduce the levels of nutrients that are entering into the lake. So this project will take stormwater that's previously been untreated from the area completely surrounding all the way up to Main Street and west to Lime Street, south to Sykes and Hardin Boulevard. And all that stormwater will be diverted into 4 constructed stormwater treatment ponds. So the water will be retained in the ponds and allow sediment and nutrients to settle out.
So stormwater is a pretty big deal because it all contributes to runoff and all the pollutants and trash that can be included in the water. So it's always a good thing when they're
And there's a lot of recreation that goes on there at Lake Hunter, which is actually the contributory where that stormwater treatment's going to go. So that'll be nice.
Right, and they said that if you missed the meeting and you want more information, you can call 863-834-6276. Excellent.
Well, recently, a leadership group from the University of Florida visited Polk County. They were at the UF ISIS Extension facility here in Bartow. After introducing themselves to each other, the group participated in several group exercises. Extension workers were on hand to give presentations on their field of expertise.
Before we built circles of houses around lakes, not to blame them, I live on a lake, but before we built houses there, our lakes were allowed to flood and take some of those nutrients out and then dry down and allow those nutrients to oxidize and digest that way. Now that we've put structures around them, we can't allow them to fluctuate the way they were supposed to. And so we have all of these pipes taking water to lakes and taking excess water to other lakes and excess water to other lakes, and they're all connected through this. So that is the main message of the paper watershed, is everything you do has an impact on our lakes, on our soils, and on the people downhill from you.
Well, that's pretty cool. Those IFAS extension agents over there, they're something else. They're all scientists over there.
They are, and they teach them pretty cool things and some pretty fun things, as Leanne Thomas, our deputy county manager, found out.
that was a treat seeing her do the calf thing there.
Speaking of calves, the 72nd annual Polk County Youth Fair was this past week. The fair took place here in Bartow at the Agricultural Center. There were many events such as a horse show, market hog show, livestock judging, chili cook-off, and so much more. We spoke with the president of the Polk County Youth Fair, Paul Webb, about this year's fair.
I'm Paul Webb, president of the Polk County Youth Fair, and I'd like to welcome you to this year's 72nd annual Polk County Youth Fair here in Bartow. You know, there's a lot of people in the county that don't know about the Youth Fair, and it's kind of a shame. We're kind of unique here. We're the largest strictly youth livestock show, sale, and educational fair east of the Mississippi. It's been around for, like I said, 72 years, and we've grown over the years. We've expanded to include things like archery, dog shows that we haven't had before, a lot of new events in the horse area. This year we've even grown in some of our standard areas. We've had a hog show here since 1980, and this year is our second largest group of pigs. We showed and sold 368 head of pigs this week. It's always a good time to come down and visit the fair, visit the kids, see what they're doing for projects, and meet the individuals that are important to making sure that agriculture stays in the forefront of our county.
Well, those kids work so hard every year to raise their animals and to just hone all their skills.
And you can really see the pride they take when they show those animals and everything over there. And what a huge event that is.
It is. It takes a lot of work, a lot of volunteers, and a lot of help.
School board members look at plans for a new high school to be located in Davenport. It'll be built on 60 acres next to the Davenport School of the Arts, and it's scheduled to open in August 2021. The original plan was to build the school to accommodate 1,800 students. It will now be built to accommodate 2,500 students after school board members learned about the community's planned expansion over several years. The school board has already approved $6 million for architectural plans and site work, and then another $80 million will have to be approved for construction. Board members Tuesday voted to put in place a mechanism to be able to issue a bond for the project if needed. According to U.S. Census records, East Polk County is one of the fastest growing areas in Central Florida. Of course, we already knew that from all the infrastructure that's being put in and all that stuff. But
yes, it is a very big area. It's growing fast, and there is a great need for schools.
I mean, that's almost doubling the capacity of what was originally planned.
Absolutely, which they need because it is just exploding out there. Winter Haven is determined to be a tech city. By the end of this year, the city will have 50 miles of underground fiber optic cable, including 30 miles that was recently installed on US 27. HIP1 is in charge of transforming Winter Haven into a smart city. He recently told 150 people Friday at a State of the City presentation that a smart city is less about technology than connecting residents to technology. Currently, Winter Haven leases cable access to private companies, generating an annual income of $130,000. One of the goals for HIP1 is having Winter Haven connected with other public entities. This will enhance the city's ability to coordinate services, which will become important during hurricanes and other public emergencies.
It's always interesting to listen to HIP talk. I've had the opportunity to hear several of his presentations, and I think he would be. I think he's a proud, professed IT geek.
He is, and the smart city infrastructure that more and more places are adopting is just absolutely fascinating.
Oh, it's amazing the kind of interconnectivity that that's being proposed. Would just, I mean, it blows your mind.
It really does.
Frostproof Mayor Martin Sullivan has recommended not filling the vacant seat on the Frostproof City Council. He prefers voters to decide on whom to fill the seat at the April 2nd municipal election. Sullivan's decision at Monday's council meeting means the 3 other council members would have the opportunity to nominate a candidate at council meeting next Monday. If no council member takes the opportunity, the seat would remain vacant until the election. The vacant seat was held by Reverend Rodney Cannon, who resigned Saturday.
Polk County has made it onto the Dangerous by Design report, which is released by the National Complete Streets Coalition and Smart Growth America. According to the list, Polk County is the 5th most deadly metropolitan area for pedestrians in America. The concentration of this report was Lakeland and Winter Haven. The Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford metro area topped the list, according to the director of the National Complete Streets Coalition, Amiko Atherton. Many places still lack the basic safe infrastructure for walking. For example, crosswalks, if they do exist at all, are often spaced as far apart as to be impractical or don't provide enough time for older adults to safely cross.
We've made a lot of lists lately. This is not one that you want to be on.
No, this is not one we want to be famous for, but I have to say Polk County is doing a lot to address these issues.
Making huge strides.
They are creating more and more coalitions or actual complete streets projects. There's one in Winter Haven, there's one in Lakeland.
You see it with every new road project. Right. I mean, sidewalks and bike lanes and the little identifiers with the green strips and everything.
And the diagonal crosswalks we keep talking about on the news show.
But a lot of it comes down to education, right? I mean, not just for drivers, but for pedestrians and bikers as well. If everybody knows what their role is on the road, everybody stays safer. Well, according to a report which was recently released, In 2018, Airbnb paid $1.1 million in tourism taxes to Polk County. Airbnb remitted $27 million in local taxes during 2018, more than doubling the total of $12.7 million in 2017. In 2015, the Florida Department of Revenue authorized Airbnb to collect and pass along state sales tax on transactions from its 45,000 hosts in the state. Airbnb has also formed voluntary agreements with Florida counties, including Polk, to remit local tourism or bed taxes, and the company now has such agreements with 40 of Florida's 67 counties.
It's pretty cool.
That only seems fair. You know,
It
if
does.
hotels and everybody have to pay the taxes, then companies like Airbnb or whatever other ones might be out there, they should,
Right. And they're
they
growing
should pay their
fast.
fair. Yep.
Well, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we will tell you all about sports in Polk County.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous.
Welcome back to PGTV News. It's now time for sports with Coach Neal.
Hey, thanks, guys. I want to remind everyone to check the PGTV listings for weekly airings of Sports Central. When you tune in, you'll see a full hour of featured guests, athlete spotlights, and so much more. You can also tune into the radio version of Sports Central on Talk 96.7 or Talk 1430 WLKF every Tuesday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. and every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Now let's get to your Polk County sports news. Well, the Detroit Tigers will be returning to Lakeland for their 83rd spring training. Of course, that's at Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium. Tickets for all games are available now at the box office, online, or over the phone. On February 22nd, the Tigers will host an exhibition game against the Southeastern University Fire, starting at 1:05 p.m. Tickets for this game went on sale starting on January 12th, so get those tickets today. The Tigers will be kicking off the regular spring training schedule against the Philadelphia Phillies on February 24th at home at 1:05 p.m. The Phillies will be led this year by Fort Meade High School grad and former National League MVP Andrew McCutcheon. Speaking of spring training, college baseball spring training will be back in Polk County very soon. Russ Matt Baseball brings over 240 teams to Polk County over a 6-week time period. The event will be back in late February, and we'll be sure to get you those details. Well, good luck to Kathleen High School graduate Albert McClellan and Frostproof graduate Nicole Roby Coleman. Both will be playing in the Super Bowl on February 3rd in Atlanta. McClellan plays for the Patriots and Roby Coleman plays for the Rams. Good luck, guys. As always, you can go to visitcentralflorida.org for more information on events going on in Polk County. Back to you guys.
Thank you for the sports report, Neal, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in.
Remember to tune in again next week for another installment of PGTV News. We'll see you next time.